Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of WODtv. We are continuing our product review series with our in-depth look at the Elevation Training Mask. So this is part 2. We're doing a check-in partway through. Just to recap, part 1, we introduced the device, showed you what it was all about, described how the manufacturer hopes that it will work, and we outlined our 6-week protocol for testing its effectiveness. So what did that start with? We did a pre-test that involved...
We had an Airdyne 10-minute test and 10 minutes for max calories. It's kind of a standard Airdyne test. We also had a 3-round Metcon, more of a CrossFit style test. And the Airdyne test was actually pretty interesting because we decided to blind it, so all you saw was the output of the time on the screen. You didn't get any of the feedback on the watts or accumulated calories, so that was a pretty interesting thing, and you had to kind of tune into how your body felt, and you didn't have any information to go on in terms of how your progress was in that workout.
And that's kind of what this device seems to be about, is kind of tuning into what's going on with your breathing. So what are some of your general feelings on how the device is affecting you so far?
I don't mind wearing it. It doesn't bother me to have it in my face. I am someone who likes to just kind of run in the gym and get started with my workout. I don't like to take a long time with my warm-up, so dedicating that time to following the protocol every day has impacted my time in the gym, but I am starting to really enjoy it and treat it as time to prepare mentally for my workout.
Fair enough. And Cam, what about your sort of general thoughts on how it's going so far?
Well, I had an interesting experience. First few times I put it on, it had kind of a claustrophobic feeling to me, actually having resisted breathing, which kind of indicated to me that I just had to be a bit more focused on how I'm actually inhaling and exhaling. And so maybe I'm being more connected by having the mask on. But yeah, it was interesting having it on for the first few times and having to really overcome that sort of psychological effect of having the mask on.
So it definitely seems like there's some sort of a learning curve and progress to the device, and we're looking at a couple specific different ways of using it. We're doing some daily breathing exercises, and we're also using it in our general workouts. So what are we doing for the daily breathing exercises?
Well, the manual that they provide actually gives you 8 exercises that you can perform, and they suggest doing this basically every day. And the issue was for us is to perform those full 8 exercises takes about 40 minutes. So it significantly impacts upon your training time during the day. So we chose 3 to 4 of these exercises to do every day. And they were a balance of some exercises where you don't have any resistance basically on your torso. It's just the mask is on your face and you're breathing against the resistance of the mask. And we also chose a couple exercises where you have intentional tension in your torso, so you actually have to overcome tension here as well as tension here and still maintain good belly breathing mechanics. So I felt like those were the best balance of the exercises that they provided.
Interesting. So something like doing a plank hold where you've got to do the belly breathing while you're tight, that's going to be probably more applicable to an actual training or performance situation where your body is moving under load. So it seems like definitely some good breathing exercises, but again, the time constraint could be a limiting factor for a lot of potential users.
Right.
What about just the general workout application of the device? What did you feel about that?
It's going well. The workouts that we're choosing to use a mask with are not really traditional WODs in the sense of wall balls, box jumps, etc. Using it more, doing Airdyne intervals and jogging. The jogging has not gone so well. I found that I couldn't keep running consistently and breathing at the same time, so it turned into more of a walk-run situation. And the Airdyne intervals have felt pretty good. Output feels pretty similar to what I would be able to maintain without the mask, and that is more true the shorter the intervals are. So the more anaerobic we stay and just using the mask in our recovery intervals, the easier it seems to be.
Interesting, yeah. So definitely sounds like there's sort of a ceiling effect in terms of how hard you can push yourself while using the device, and that could be a detraction from our overall intensity. So playing around with the resistance of the mask is probably something that's important. What's your experience with that so far?
Well, our original plan was to increase the resistance every week. So the mask, the manual measures the resistance in elevation, and so the first setting is at 3,000 feet and then 6,000, 9,000, etc. Now in our third week, we've chosen to stay at 6,000 instead of move up to 9,000, just keeping the resistance a little lower and enabling us to push harder with that same stimulus.
Right. So trying to find that balance between, experiencing the challenge and the resistance of the device, but still being able to put yourself in an intense training situation. So that's, I think, what we're going to be continuing with for the next few weeks, and looking at whether or not this feeling of difficulty and challenge actually has a distinct physiological impact and a measurable impact on our performance. So stay tuned for that, and we'll come at you with the results of our post-testing in the next episode.